Hi everyone, welcome to the Karen Digital YouTube channel. My name's Amelia and I'm the founder of Karen Digital, and it's my mission to break down the fundamentals of digital marketing to make them as accessible as possible for new business owners out there. Today's video is actually going to be the first in a series where I'm going to be breaking down each of the elements of a digital marketing strategy specifically for new business owners who are new to digital marketing. If you have seen my first video, which I'll link down below, which goes through creating a digital marketing strategy for the first time, you will know that the first step is setting goals for your strategy. Now, I know firsthand how overwhelming it can be to set goals for your business for the first time, let alone for a digital marketing strategy, which you may or may not have ever thought about before. There is so much that you want to achieve and you feel like you need to do all of the things right now. But trust me, you don't. And today I'm going to simplify goal setting for you so you can really focus in on what's right for you and for your business at the stage that it's currently at. And to be honest, I think that's part of the problem a lot of the time, is that there is so much fantastic educational content out there around digital marketing and strategies and as part of that goal setting. But a lot of the time, they don't take into account the stage you're at with your business and how much current understanding you may or may not have of digital marketing. And those things are so important, because if you create a strategy which is not appropriate for the stage of your business and where you're at, then it's probably not going to work as well as it could. So that's what I really want to focus on today, is simplifying the process of goal setting so that when you are doing it for the first time, it's as realistic and achievable as possible for your business where it is now and the resources and time that you have available to you. So regardless of your experience with digital marketing, chances are you've heard of the SMART framework before for goal setting. And I'll pop it on the screen just in case by some chance you haven't seen it before, but it is very widely used in different scenarios across different industries. This is a great framework to use for goal setting. I have used it before myself many times. If you have used this framework before and you like it and it works for you and you're comfortable with it, then I definitely encourage you to continue using it, because everyone will have a different approach that works for them, and that's okay, and you've just got to go with it. However, if you have tried the SMART framework and it hasn't worked as well for you, or you're just interested in trying something new, then please do keep watching. Now, the reason why I don't necessarily use this framework myself, or I don't necessarily recommend it for new businesses, is because I just feel like sometimes it can be a bit too concrete and a bit too much if you're just starting out and this is the first time that you're setting goals. When you're just starting out, things are constantly changing. I mean, things are always changing in business anyway, but particularly when you're just starting out, you're testing new things, you're seeing what works, you're constantly adapting to feedback. And I believe whatever framework or system you're using for your goals needs to account for that. And that's why I believe a slightly simplified, adapted version of the SMART framework works a little better for new businesses or people who are just starting out in digital marketing. And by keeping things a bit more simple and a bit tighter in the beginning, it gives you more space and more of an opportunity to learn at this stage and then apply those learnings as you grow and you develop more goals and more strategies in the future. So we're going to dive into it now. But as I said before, I am still keeping some of those SMART framework elements in there, just simplifying a little bit to help make it a little more flexible. And I'm also going to be incorporating elements from a different framework, which you may or may not have heard of before. And that's the Objectives and Key Results Framework, or OKR as it's sometimes known. And very simply put, this is where you set an overarching goal that is perhaps not as specific, it's not necessarily time bound, and then you create key results that sit under that and support that goal. And it's those key results which are then more specific, more time bound, more actionable. Traditionally, this framework is probably used in a stricter way than I'm going to use it today, but I do quite like it because it helps take you from this overarching goal to actionable steps, which I feel like can be a barrier for some people. They know what they want to achieve, but they don't know how to break it down and create steps to actually help them achieve it. So step number 1 is to choose one overarching goal which directly relates to your business objectives. Now, if you don't have any official business objectives yet, that's okay. Just take 5 to 10 minutes to sit down and write down what you think you would like your business to look like in 6 months or a year's time, and use that information to help you with this step. So this overarching goal can be quite high level, and it doesn't need to follow that SMART framework that I mentioned before, because we're going to get into that in the next step. The most important thing is that it does relate to your business objectives or the direction that you want your business to go, and it is realistic for your business and the stage that it's at. An example of an overarching goal might be to build your community through email marketing, or it could be to increase customer engagement across your social channels. If you're a little stuck with knowing what this goal could be for you, then you can, of course, always reach out to me, but you can also have a Google. There are so many businesses out there that share their goals and their digital marketing strategies online, and they can be really helpful when you're trying to think about what might be right for you. So you have your one overarching goal, and now it's time for step 2. And that step is to create 3 sub-goals that will help you on your way to achieving that overarching goal. By creating this list of 3 sub-goals, you're breaking down that one main goal and making it easier to identify those everyday actions that you need to take to help you actually achieve it. This is where we can bring in more of those traditional SMART framework elements. So by their nature, these goals will probably be a bit more specific already, but you should have a time frame associated with them, and they should also be measurable. Remember, at every stage throughout this goal setting process, the goals that you are creating are flexible. We'll be taking the time to review them and adapt them if we need to, and you are not stuck to them. If we follow along from the example that I gave earlier of building a community through email marketing, then an example of 3 sub-goals to help you achieve that might be 1, to increase opportunities for people to actually sign up to your email list. 2, to set up an automated welcome email flow for new subscribers so that they actually feel like they're joining a community. And 3, to create a new email marketing campaign or series that provides value to your subscribers and will actually encourage them to sign up so that they can access that information. Now, that's just an example, and those goals can certainly be added to and adapted to make them more specific and measurable and have a time frame associated with them, but it's just to give you an idea of what those sub goals might look like. Now that we have our sub goals, step 3 will be to use them to guide our weekly and daily actions. For example, if we're using this sub goal of increasing the opportunities for people to subscribe to the emailing list, then what needs to be done that week to help us achieve that? And remember, we want to keep things realistic with the time that you have that week and the resources that you have that week. So the action for that week could be as small as simply listing out what you're actually going to implement to increase the opportunities, whether that's adding a sign-up pop-up box to your website, adding a link to your social media bio, or perhaps doing a promotion where people get 10% off if they do sign up to your email list. Or it might be that you're able to take things even further that week. So it might be that you design the pop-up that's going to go on your website, or that you actually add the link to your bio on your social media. Whatever you decide to do, make sure that it's actually achievable. Alongside setting the time to actually complete the actions which will support your sub-goals, make sure that you're also building in time to actually track your progress, even if it's as simple as updating a spreadsheet with your metrics from that week. Finally, we have step 4, and this is arguably the most important step, and that is tracking and reviewing your progress. Looking back in the review mirror is so important because it will tell you how you're progressing towards your goals and if you perhaps need to change something up. Now, what you track will completely depend on what your goals are, what platforms and tactics that you're using, and what metrics or information you have decided to note down. If you need to keep things simple for now, that is totally okay. I know there's lots of great platforms out there that can help with reporting, but if all you have for now is a spreadsheet where you're tracking the numbers, that is absolutely okay. Just make sure that you're setting aside the time to actually update it, and you're setting aside the time to reflect on the information that you're gathering. I firmly believe at this stage there are no bad numbers, there's no bad information that you can gather. It's all about how you interpret it. Even if you think things haven't gone so well that week, that's information that you can use. What I would say is that if you do need to make changes based on the information that you're seeing, try to make them small changes and try and only implement 1 or 2 each week so it's clear what changes might have had a positive impact and what changes might not be helping. And finally, remember that things don't happen quickly or easily. I know it might feel like that sometimes when it seems like people go viral overnight, but often that's far from the case. There's always hard work that goes on behind the scenes. But I promise if you listen and you learn and you adapt, you will find your community online, you will achieve your goals, and you will be able to build the business that you've always dreamed of. So to recap, step 1 is setting your overarching goal. Step 2 is creating 3 sub-goals that will help you to achieve this overarching goal. Step 3 is to use your sub-goals to create your weekly or daily actions. And step 4 is to track your progress and adapt. I really hope this video helped to simplify goal setting for digital marketing for you. But if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. You can also let me know if there are any other topics that you would like me to cover. If you think you might need one-to-one support, then you can find me at karendigital.com. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it as a new small business myself, and I'll see you next time.